Hello, this is my second attempt as my Facebook Live had a black screen again today. I have no idea why. So I'm going to start today like I did last week and the week before. I'm going to start with some breathing. Because I think we all forget, we all maybe take too shallow a breath. So just take a deep breath in and breathe into your stomach. Not into your chest. And one more. And I'd like to welcome everybody today, and hi Selec, sorry about that if I've got your name wrong. I'm just going to apologise in advance that it's a possibility that my neighbour may start clearing his lungs soon. His bathroom's adjacent to my office, so if you get a really gross sound through your headphones, I apologise in advance. So today, I'm going to take it slowly because I'm not sure what I'm going to say. And I've been experiencing quite a lot of brain fog this past week, and I've been finding it difficult to think straight. It's been one of those weeks where, sometimes you have a mind that's too full, and other times you just can't seem to continuous stream of thought. I've been having conversations with people, and I was socialising yesterday, and I started to talk and then I stopped because I couldn't remember what I was going to say. And so if this happens in today's video, you know why. I'm having a bit of a brain fog, and I'm going to use it as just a way to slow down, because I think sometimes we get our thinking not triggered, but it gets disrupted because we're not present enough, and brain fog in its own way encourages us to stop and be and allow the silence. So I'm going to take another breath because I need it. What do you think freedom is? What's true freedom to you? Is it having enough money in the bank? Is it having a relationship? Is it having the freedom to travel, or the freedom to buy or eat or do whatever you want? They say that you could be in a prison cell and you could still feel free. And I think that's the case with everyone. We could feel like we're in a limited situation, and we could choose to feel that we're free inside, or we could choose to see that we're limited and restricted. And I was reading a message by Osho recently, and he talked about freedom. And he said that everybody seems to want freedom, but they don't really want freedom. Because we seem to be under the impression that freedom means that we'll just get whatever we want and we'll do whatever we want. And he said that true freedom is taking 100% responsibility for who we are, our lives, how we choose to experience the world around us, be it in a restricted, outwardly restricted or limited situation, or we could feel free on the outside but inwardly feel restricted due to mental health issues. So if we really want freedom, we have to be really sure that we're willing to take full responsibility, because when we're not free, we tend to either blame other people, or we rely on other people, or we depend on the world or people around us for certain things. But when we let go of that dependency, when we let go of needing other people to feel free, then we can experience true freedom that comes from inside of us. So no matter what is happening in your life, be it you have limited money, or you feel ill in your health, or your mental health is not too great right now, you can still feel free inside. Now, I used to do this dancing called 5 Rhythms Dancing, which was kind of a wild free dancing, and it was a class which was to do with different rhythms and how we move in the world. And the teacher, Gabrielle Roth, she used to teach people who were in wheelchairs and people who really had no physical freedom. But the actual movements of being able to imagine and feel the dance without actually moving the body meant that these people learned to experience freedom while having the limit of physical freedom. And they say that if you are not able to do exercise for some reason, your body's not working for some reason, you can actually imagine doing the exercise and the body still responds in the same way. So I was talking to somebody yesterday about the fact that everything outside of us is inside of us, and there's no way that it can't be. So even things like war, abuse, some of the real atrocities of this world, they are inside of us. And you might think, well, that's crazy. How can I be responsible for the wars of the world or terrible things like rape? But if we look on a consciousness level, we are actually at war with ourselves inside of our own minds quite often. And we may abuse ourselves regularly. We may criticize who we are. And because of that, the outer world reflects what is happening in the inside. So if you're having difficulties in your outer world, just start to look inside of yourself and see if your inner landscape is in a bit of turmoil. True freedom comes from inside. And when we're able to, even things that are happening in politics or some of the really crazy things that are happening in the world right now, we might think that we're so powerless or hopeless. But if we actually stop and bring that into our hearts, inside of us, and see what is it that we can do inside that will make a difference outside in the world. Because we can make a difference from inside of ourselves. You know, there's that saying, be the change. And it's true, it's not just a physical activity that you've got to go and march on Wall Street, or, go to Parliament and protest, which is all great to do as well. So if you're inspired to do that, great. But if you're able to find a sense of acceptance and peace, to find the resolution that you want in the outer world, so you may want peace in the world, find that peace inside of yourself, then you're making such a huge, great difference in the world. So you're not powerless, and you're not hopeless, and you can make a difference. And it seems so simple, but it's not easy. It's really not easy, because some things in the world really make us are triggered by, I get triggered by what's on the news, which is why I rarely watch the news. But it can be a reason to heal. We can actually watch the news and think, well, what can I do here in me that can make a difference here? I obviously can't do anything in politics outwardly, but what can I do inwardly? And that's when the energy changes and it ripples out into the world, and life changes. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have peace on earth, because we need a balance. We're still living in duality, and there's dark and light, and we can't know light without dark. So there is a balance. But when we become okay with dark and we become okay with light, and we have no preference for either, that is when we have an inner balance within ourselves and an inner peace. Hi Stephen, welcome. No worries, Stephen. You run away. You go and do what you need to do. Thank you for watching anyway. So I came here not knowing what to talk about, and I end up talking about freedom. And I want to just talk a little bit about what my own changes that are happening right now too, because I've received such immense, beautiful support when I stepped in to be a co-producer for Shining Bright Radio. And I made the decision recently to walk away from Shining Bright Radio. It was a really hard decision, but it feels like the real right decision for me. It's my own freedom within needing to spread my wings and fly. And I didn't feel like I could express myself in the way that I needed to. And I have so many ideas for future projects. And I have a fairly big idea which I'm going to be bringing forward soon. And I'm going to need your support. So sometimes we just need to discover what it is that is free for us. And when we become free on the inside, then we know what decision to make on the outside. So this has been a very unexpected talk, and I had no idea I would talk about freedom. But I think with the way the world is, we need to understand how much of a difference we can make by making peace with the inner war that we have, making peace with any abuse that we give to ourselves. And by doing that, we can make a difference with the war and the abuse and the atrocities that happen in the outer world too. Hi, Rabina. So thank you all for watching. I think that's all I'm going to do for now, because it does take me a little while to do my captions. But I'm going to update you in the coming weeks on what my new idea is going to be. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of research, and it's a bit scary walking away from Shining Bright Radio, a project that I really put a lot of passion into. So watch this space, and thank you all for your support, and I'll be back again next Monday at 10 a.m. Thank you. Bye everyone.